The mid-20s inland, Steve and Soph, and there's our special guest. Hey.
All right, thanks very much for that, Mark. Yes, Premier Christy Clark is with us. Thanks for coming by.
Nice to see you, Steve.
And
Sophie, hello. I can't really talk because I've got the box. What's the box that the Premier brought us?
She wouldn't let me hold it.
I know.
Yeah, because you're the Premier. You're not supposed to hold stuff. You have to
Hey, listen, I'm working hard all day, so.
All right, well, share it. So you brought us some food here. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots of people are coming through. And, of course, Premier, this is such a big need in BC. And as I was saying earlier, the numbers, no matter how many times you hear them, they just are still shocking. The children in this province and this country are still going hungry.
I know. And, you know, the thing is that we forget often that it's not just Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We often think about the food bank at Christmas, but it's all year that people need to rely on the food bank. And the thing about child poverty that we need to remember is that it's parent poverty that causes it, really, right? Children who are raised in homes where their parents aren't able to work or aren't working and don't have enough money to bring home that's...
Or even if they are working and they're just not able to make ends meet.
Well, that's right. You know, and when we raised the minimum wage, it's now at $10.25. So hopefully that'll help a little bit. But working at minimum wage, if you've got a couple of kids, is still pretty tough, and people will need to rely on the food bank. So it's important. I'm so glad you're doing this. It's just wonderful. I know you're doing it across the country, and I want to encourage all the viewers today to make sure that you find whatever's in your cupboard that you can spare and bring it down.
And you know, we talk about the Greater Vancouver Food Bank, but you go around the province everywhere, and there's a lot of food banks and a lot of communities who do a tremendous amount of work. So even though we've got the Vancouver Food Bank we mention all the time, there's food banks everywhere that need help.
Well, that's true. And you know, you go to a lot of communities, go to Kelowna, go to Prince George, you'll find people who are homeless, who are really struggling, and you'll find, you know, kids that are living in really, really tough conditions. I think we all work hard to raise our kids and do the right thing. And it's easy to forget that in such a wealthy society, there are people who are really struggling. And I know that the people who work for the Ministry of Children and Families and do social work, those kinds of people see this on a regular basis. But for most of the rest of us, we're shielded from it.
Right.
And so it's important to remember.
You raise a really good point, though, that it's certainly not just on the Lower Mainland. There are small towns throughout BC who face the same kind of struggles. And we think of homelessness, for instance, as a big city problem, but there's trouble for folks everywhere in the province.
That's true. And you know, homelessness will often go hand in hand with mental illness, or hand in hand with drug addiction. And there are kids that are growing up in homes like that. So it's important that we are there to help people through those crises in their lives. And as you say, it can happen in Vanderhoof, it can happen in Prince Rupert, it can happen in Telkwa, and it certainly can happen in Vancouver and in Burnaby.
And we want to just note the Premier brought this box in, and this is exactly what we're looking for. We've got the craft dinner, the spaghetti sauce, and this is a big one. Peanut butter is always a big one because there's a lot of nutrients in peanut butter that, especially for kids. And this is our last question to you because I know you have to run. But the fact that we were talking, 36% of children use a food bank, and some of them go to school without having breakfast, and how tough it is to learn without having something in your stomach and being able to learn.
Well, that's the thing. And those kids don't, not only do they have trouble learning, they're often they'll have behavior problems. I mean, think about it with your own kids. If they don't eat, they're not that easy to manage.
For sure.
So it creates a real problem for the teachers in the classroom and the other kids. And if they aren't able to learn in those early grades, their likelihood of graduating from high school isn't very big. And so it's really important that kids get to school with food in their tummies and are able to learn, and then hopefully they'll graduate and be able to turn their lives around.
Right.
There you go. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Okay, well,
and thanks to Global. You guys are doing a great thing.
Thank you. Okay, we'll get this box over to the big truck there. Excellent. Thank you very much, Premier. And we will take a break here on the Morning News and be right back with your top stories. Stay with us.